Hello there, Leo. Welcome to your monthly forecast. My name is Nicholas Ashbaugh. This is my little furry assistant, Apollo. We're really happy to see you. Welcome to your monthly forecast. This is going to be for the month of November. Of course, you can watch this for Sun, Rising, Moon, and Venus, and you can either watch it as the month is unfolding or a little bit ahead if you'd like to. I'm going to put down this precious little being so we can get started. Welcome, everybody. It's good to see you. I begin all of my readings with channeled messages. For those that watch, you know that this comes through dreams and meditation. It also comes through everyday events in life, and it was a combination of the two today for you. So in dreams, I really picked up on the importance of being on time and just the general sort of feature of time being something to pay attention to. And as I was selecting a deck of cards, there was a little spider that jumped off the deck, so we're going to talk about spiders as well. He made his way safely outside after that. Okay, so time, first and foremost. Of course, we can take it at face value, and it can be about punctuality. I saw multiple scenarios in my dreams where people were waiting for you. And let's give Apollo a little pet and a toy. There you go, buddy. Sorry about that, just to get him settled. So yeah, punctuality is going to be an important thing this month. You don't want to keep people waiting, basically, is what I saw. So in fact, if you want to kind of get the upper hand this month, I think the importance is to be proactive, to manage up, to basically be a little bit ahead of things so that people will reflect back and think, gosh, that was a relief. I didn't have to ask them to do something, or they anticipated exactly what I was going to need. So the more you can be on time or early, the better. And you really, if there's been anything in your life where you've been dragging your feet a little bit or procrastinating, now is the time to flip it around and get things going. So there you go. It's not only a virtue to be punctual, but also it can help you shine. So I basically featured the Ace of Swords here because any ace card is immediate. It means right here, right now. And the Ace of Swords is one of the most active ones. It's about speaking up, it's about taking action, and it's about seeing something through. So you have the possibility to do all of that this month if you'd like to. Then I thought of like a chessboard here, and this was more in the meditation, and it's about making a move. Once you start to do that, everything else starts to come into play. And it's kind of like even the game show, the Wheel of Fortune, but once you start things moving, there's this momentum or spinning energy that starts to happen. It also connects to our spider here. The choice is up to you, the next move is up to you, but once you do this, you'll start to see some traction. And specifically when we're looking at resources, money, and opportunities. The next thing here is that little spider that was on top of the deck of cards that I'm using. It's interesting because I'm using an animal totem deck here, so it was appropriate that there was, an insect on it. But basically, spiders are a very powerful totem because they typically get what they're looking for. But how do they do it? They set that web out, which is the equivalent of the Two of Wands. Intention. You have to know what you want. You have to set it out there to the universe and say, I'm ready. And then you have to look for it. The next card in this would be the Three of Wands, where the person is waiting for the ships to come in. But they first have to figure out what they want. They have to kind of get the vision together for the universe to meet them halfway. The other thing here is patience. Sometimes we're used to things happening immediately or overnight. And it takes a moment or two sometimes for everything to coalesce. But once you know what you want, don't be afraid to speak up. That's the final bullet here. Let the universe know what you want, let others know, and basically set your intentions. And I think that's going to help you out to have a really fruitful month here in the next 6 to 8 weeks. So let's go ahead to the overhead camera now and start to shuffle the cards and see what's in store for this upcoming month. So good to see everybody today. I hope you're doing well. Let's just get that out of the way. All right, again, you can use this for Sun, Rising, Moon, or Venus, and this can be used for the next 6 to 8 weeks. Let me just clear my screen so I can see a little bit better. There we go. If you ever want to see any of the decks that I'm using, you can always go to my website where they're all listed. All right, let's get started with your catalyst, the beautiful water dragon. All right, the card did come through in the reverse state. Let's pull it upright just so we can enjoy the imagery, and a reminder that the catalyst contains information to really help you create a positive movement in your life. So I would connect this in tarot to like the King of Cups, because of course being King of Water, that's what we would have here, power as personified by the dragon. King of Cups, really creative, highly empathetic, very able to communicate and also feel the emotions of others and find a way to harmonize with all of that. When the card is reversed, however, what can be happening here is creative block, emotional block, or some intense emotions that you might be processing in this moment in time. One of the ways you can turn this energy around is basically to focus on yourself in this period of time. Many of you may just be a natural sort of nurturing force for others. You may even have a job where it's your job function to make sure that everybody's well-being is taken care of. I'd love for you to do something this month that creates support in your life and stability in your life. And if you are dealing with something really, really intense, then this card comes through as a reminder to reach out and find a place where you can either channel that energy creatively, or if you need to talk to someone, you can express yourself, or find other outlets, maybe even social outlets. This is a chance for you to let your heart kind of be free, to release any stress or pressure, and that's going to help you open up the power that's intrinsic to this beautiful water dragon as your catalyst. Taking a quick glance at all the cards here, I like what I see, folks. There's a couple notes on health here because we have a card associated with rest and physical strength. I'm loving that you came through, symbolized by the lion right at the center. And I also like that we have manifestation and more envisioning sort of work. But one thing that the cards are already showing me is whatever you're trying to manifest, create, or accomplish, it's actually already within reach. Partnerships are also coming through. It's a great month, folks. Let's get started with you, literally at the center here, the strength card. There's so much to love about this particular illustration of strength. The thing I love the most is that it's basically divine feminine and masculine all wrapped up together. There's no tug of war. There doesn't have to be someone that's right or wrong. There doesn't have to be someone that's in control or listening to the other person. It's basically just power personified. This month, the struggle is over, and that's basically what this card is showing. The struggle that we would see here is traditionally to get someone to listen, to get something to go your way. This is a card where you conquer whatever fear or block or person or gatekeeper might be in the way, but it is an exhausting card when strength comes through. So we don't see that anymore. We see that you could read this two different ways. It's just the combination of the two, so we have a symbol of strength. It can also mean that if someone in the past was trying to get you to do something you didn't want to do, you're liberated now. You're the lion, you're free. I like that quite a bit. And we've all been there in certain points of our life, whether it's that pivotal moment when you really feel like an adult, you break free from the nest and you're doing something that you want to as an adult, or if there's a relationship that was kind of suffocating or not allowing you to be as free as you needed to, breaking free of that. Sometimes it's a job, sometimes it's an environment. Whatever it is, you're free this month or you're finding your freedom, and I like that. And I think that this is going to be a period where your own ability to thrive might even surprise you. This is also a subtle reminder to prioritize your physical strength. And we actually get one way that you can do that. Don't burn the candle at both ends. Because we have this cute little lamb here. He's quite focused, but with the Four of Swords, typically this is a card where rest, sleep, and I would even say taking a break, not only is it important, but it's necessary to you so you can see things, so that you can decompress, okay? And there's also something that came through, and it's just intuitive, and I have to say it while I see it. And the question this month is, are you leading or are you following? Some of you are deciding to just step into that leadership role because this is the king of the jungle, and this would be a follower. A lamb typically represents a follower. So for some of you, this could be uncharted territory, but really exciting territory as well. Crossing the strength card, we have the King of Swords. That action that I was talking about in the channeled messages, absolutely personified with this. One thing that's unique because we have animal totems here is to lean on your wisdom. really think before speaking. That's what we can pull together with the owl. The owl is also an apex predator, is basically able to target the right moment, the right words, and is going to swoop in and maybe even take someone by surprise. The element of punctuality combined with that sort of perfect timing, that's what's going to make you amazing this month. I mean, it's kind of one and the same because punctuality is about timing, but there's a little bit of something here where people didn't expect it from you. So maybe it's the way you're communicating, maybe it's the wisdom that you have that you're imparting, and it also could be just the fact that you're doing it all right now. All three together makes you this wise owl that we have here, okay? A fun fact, because I've covered this as a totem before, they've given up the ability to be faster in order to be a little bit quieter. Their wings don't make a lot of noise. They have eyes that help them see their prey at night, and so basically they can come in and it is a surprise sort of moment here. So I definitely get that combination of wisdom, communication, and timing. And so I feel excited about how this can all kind of play out for you. I also think many of you have just been really planning this. I was talking about having a vision. Maybe some of you already have it, and it's just now really a call to action here. You have no less than 3 cards that show the ability to manifest: the High Priestess, the 3 of Wands, and the 2 of Wands. I mentioned that these 2 cards are the most powerful to pair up because this was what I showed at the beginning at the person that's holding the globe. The ability to see it and know it and almost kind of like feel it, and then also in your mind's eye say, I know how I'm going to deal with this when it happens. You're connecting all of this so that it actually shows up in real time. So keep true to your vision, to basically summarize that, because you could actually have at least 2 things coming to fruition this month. Possibly more if you're really working on this. At the very least, you may be surprised at how quickly your thoughts manifest. That would be the only warning with this, because these 2 together, we want to stay positive and not overly critical, because you can either create and attract positive things, or if you have fears or anxieties, you can also bring in challenges. Let's not do that. Let's bring in the opportunities this month. Okay, so I talked about the water dragon here that we see reversed. It's right by the Knight of Cups. Slow down for a moment, process your emotions, find a way to kind of glean from the emotions what you need to focus on and what is just sort of emotional baggage. We all have it. We all have those filters. We all have those past experiences, the lower frequency emotions like fear or anxiety. The sooner you can let that go, the sooner you can start to get to some exciting things here, which we'll talk about in just a moment. There could be, for some of you, relationships are taking a more prominent role here. So Knight of Cups, 2 of Cups, not a bad thing necessarily, but you're very focused on other things. And guess what? Sometimes when we're not trying to manifest or create the emotional stuff in our life, particularly relationships, they come marching in. So you may be asked to multitask this month. For those of you that were single and happy or are already in a relationship, it's going to be important to balance out those the people in your life too, because that's also going to be your support system as you go through things. So it's important. You can't let that go sort of to the sidelines. So love, relationships, and people are center stage. It's you, but you're going to have to navigate matters of the heart this month. And we'll go deeper into that as we look at love, but I just wanted to highlight it right now. In the crowning position, you got 2 cards. Both of them were reversed. Let's look at them upright so we can interpret them better. The first card was the 8 of Cups, and then we had Temperance beneath it. The 8 of Cups is a card where you're being encouraged by the universe to take a break, to get some perspective. As you can see with this unique illustration, it's a chance where you can break a cycle. And one of the cycles that might need to be broken is this sort of impatience, because Temperance in reverse is basically trying to rush something before it's done, before you're comfortable making a decision. And so if you're feeling that sense of anxiety or anxiousness, take a break, step back, ground yourself, breathe, talk to someone. This is such an important card. Anything worth doing is worth doing right, and anything where you have to make a decision without being prepared it probably isn't worth your time. So stop for a moment. It's like, stop the presses. Let's get what we need to kind of get cleared before we send that out into the world. And that's the main message there. You got 2 cards, but it was pretty clear here. Also, if there's something that you want to create in this period, this is a really good chance to go into a different path. So you can walk away from something you don't like, but also walk towards something you do. All right. The only thing I'll say with the 8 of Cups is, if you do want to close a door on something, this is sort of not completely wrapped up. There are some loose ends with this. Sometimes the other person misinterprets and they think that, you're going to come back, or there was some ambiguity. So if you need to be clear, be clear. If you want an open door, this is good. If you didn't get something that you wanted, let's say, you went after a job, or you applied to a school, or you tried something but didn't succeed, this one is saying, come back later when you've learned more. You can get it the next time or the time after that. If at first you don't succeed, keep on trying. That's what this card is showing, because eventually there is success. And we also see that here. I feel like the second time around will be better, or the next time at bat, if you will. Now, this is where there are 2 cards here that are going to constitute success, the 2 of Cups and the 2 of Wands. So this is all your preparation work, but this is your networking. You cannot ignore people and relationships this month. Even if you kind of want to be in a hermit phase, the 2 of Cups is basically saying partnership is here to help. Partnership is also necessary. There could be people that are kind of have a rubber stamp approval, like a gatekeeper. There could also be someone that could connect you to a decision maker or someone that you need to talk to. So your ability to speak heart to heart and basically to unlock that sort of energy is going to be key. That's why the water dragon came forth. You'll be able to manifest when you are in touch with your heart, when you can touch someone else's heart, when your emotions are freely flowing. And I love that we've got a card here that's all about manifestation. We have a card here that's all about manifestation, which I didn't talk enough about, but we'll talk about it in a second. And then we have the 2 of Wands here, which is also about manifestation. And while we're talking about manifestation, apologies for not talking a little bit more about the High Priestess. It's going to be really important this month to lean into the creative process. So this card deserves a moment more of a discussion here, because I kind of jumped to the other ones. So one thing that I would say with this, intuitive development, it's a great time for doing that. Anything for those of you that are artists, writers, or inventors, the creative energy, the ability to sort of connect with your muse out there, it's really coming through loud and clear. And these cards are so powerful, as I said, when they're put together, because it's basically saying, whatever you really want to bring into the world, this is the moment. So this High Priestess is also a call to action, okay? But I did want to talk a little bit about intuitive development, because I didn't go into that. Also, look for signs and symbols everywhere. This can be the more internal stuff that's in your heart and your head. This is the environment. So as you start to develop your intuitive gifts, you'll realize that sometimes it can be nature totems, it can be a billboard ad, it can be music, it can be a phrase that someone says as they're walking past. Spirit will use the closest vehicle it can to relay the message to you. So be more aware of your surroundings, and you can pick up on even more downloads by doing that. There could be a new relationship coming in, folks, this month. And they see you, they really see you, and they want to get to know you a little bit more. We have so much water coming through. I would not be surprised if it was like a King of Cups energy or a Knight of Cups. But the reversal of this is kind of 2 things. Like energy attracts like energy. So the moment you can kind of pull your cup upright and basically say, I feel now that I am solid in my emotional self. I feel like I am good when it comes to other relationships, and I'm ready to receive whatever the universe has to give in love, relationships, and opportunities, then you're going to attract a person that doesn't have their cup reversed. They have it upright. We want them upright because then it's kind of like the Ace of Cups. It's overflowing. There's more than enough for you. There's more than enough for the other person. Work on your emotional state this month. It's so important, because once you're in a grounded place, then the relationships you attract, and you are attracting them this month, they will be sound as well. Okay, so doing the work helps you not have to do as much work in those relationships. Yes, you can find love Water, like I said, is coming through, so I feel like it's a water sign, a Cancer, a Scorpio, or a Pisces. You don't have to say yes to the first person. You don't have to say yes if you're not ready. This is also discerning when it's reversed, all right? Now let's go into how you're showing up this month. A little busy. So the Four of Swords, typically we would see someone resting, 3 swords above them, 1 sword beneath them. In this one, we can see what's going on here. It's almost like the creative juices won't stop. You're laying in bed at night and you're thinking of what you want to do tomorrow, or you're thinking what you wish you would have done today, or something random's coming through your head. So I really believe that meditation and exercise and reducing caffeine, all of these things can help you out so this little lamb can get some sleep, right? Counting sheep, I see why they chose that as well. But when I was pulling the cards earlier, I tucked it away in my head, but I wanted to repeat it again. Are you leading or are you following? You're not following because the following card was reversed. You're also not happy with just sitting back in the sidelines anymore. A sheep follows. A sheep is kind of sheepish, but like when it's reversed, it's saying, I need to speak up. I have things that I need to do. The difficulty this month may be in also letting go, because this is one of 3 or 4 release cards: 6 of Swords, Death, 4 of Swords, sometimes Judgment, and Death, of course. Yeah, this card again is saying that it's hard. It's more stuck in the head space a little bit. So I think that changing the mental channel will be helpful. So again, reading, meditating, and making sure that before you go to sleep, you're giving yourself enough time to basically get into a peaceful space. That's going to be really key. Okay. Now let's look at what's going on in the environment. Well, manifestation, folks. This is such a beautiful 3 of Wands card. I have the traditional one here handy just so you can compare and contrast. So with this one, we see someone that's looking out in expectation, and then also we can see that the ships are coming in. So it's kind of like call and answer. I'm ready, and the universe says, good, here you go. But this is also reminding you that sometimes you have to be looking in order to see what it is, because if you are kind of closed off, you won't see the ships coming in. This card is reminding you not only to keep an open heart and an open eye to what's going on, but also an open mind, I should say, but things could look different. This is prismatic, so something may come at a different time, in a different shape, in a different form, and it could kind of like go against what you thought it should be, but the universe also has a way of giving you exactly what you need when you need it, even if it's not what you want at that time. So be open. Basically, that's the one thing that I would say here. This is a good time to create, to receive, to launch something. Literally, we can see those ships coming in, so I'm excited about that. And these 2 cards are like cousins, as you can see. This is setting the intention, this is receiving it. And they're a little bit reversed here. So that's why I would say, for some of you, be open, because you may be so focused on this has to come in here, and the universe is knocking and saying, actually, we think you're ready right now. Are you ready? So it's kind of like a good news, but you have to kind of change up your expectations this month. All right. This can also be travel. Both of these cards you can see because he's holding the globe and he's also looking out at the ships. So there may be 1 or 2 trips on the horizon. The Chariot itself can also be a card of traveling. And so I think one of the things that you might be balancing this month is your rest. For those of you that are business people that are doing a lot of traveling, or if you're retired and you've been going from place to place a lot, just make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Quality and quantity of sleep do matter. Otherwise, it wears down on your general energy and vitality, and we don't want that. The Chariot card coming through in Hopes, Fears, and Opportunities is actually quite good. In the reverse state, it's saying some of you might be taking the wheel back and saying, I want to do this. Maybe for those of you that have never had a chance to experience something, you're raising your hand and saying, this is what I want, this is the direction that I want to head, and you're not afraid to crank the wheel and go in another direction. Because we have just the horse here, which is kind of cool. So there is no chariot, just like in the Strength card. There is no figure putting their hands in the mouth of the lion. So in this one, you get to go wherever you want to go, but you have to take action, accountability, and you have to be the one that sets the course. In the reverse state, this can also be about someone that's trying to rein you in. The interesting thing is I don't think they're going to have as much success as they have in the past, because we have 2 symbols of strength here. In a relationship, here's the interesting thing, Both of you are coming through really, really strong. This usually likes to get its way. This likes to get its way when it comes to personalities. So I see this is where there could be discord for some of you. And the key to success is communication. The other key to success is meeting halfway. There isn't necessarily one right way. Both of these people can accomplish what they're trying to do. It's so beautiful because that's what I'm seeing here. We have a partnership where both of you can kind of blend and bring in complementary things. And with both of you looking in different directions, you have an ability to canvas more ground, but neither of these two are looking at each other, right? So that's the challenge with these two, is to kind of get on the same page. We'll look at that a little bit more when we talk about relationships, but I wanted to highlight that. It might be time to get off the road for those of you that travel a lot for work. It's time for that vacation. It's time to take a break. We literally see the broken cups on this card. Now, for this card in reverse, this is a reflective card, deciding to go within, reflection, I should say. So this is outward when it's upright, but when it's upside down, it's saying, I really need to focus on what I want. It's also a card of sampling. These almost look like chopsticks. So you may be thinking, how does this feel for me? Do I want to try this? Do I want to try that? You're thinking about what really matters to you. So it's a time for inward development. Your high priestess energy coming through loud and clear. That's going to help you out during this period of time. Let's go ahead now and expand your forecast to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny, beginning with the energy of health. And the stingray is coming through in this particular space to represent a hidden power. This is a very graceful marine animal, but when you look at it, sometimes you don't realize that it can be quite dangerous, quite powerful. And so for some of you, there is this hidden strength or power that's coming through, which nicely aligns with your center card. And some of you are just starting to make peace with that internal power. This is also an encouragement to tread lightly. So there could be a person in your life that is, these are not sharks, but they're related to that family. But they're kind of like not worth the time and energy, let's put it that way. This is sort of like a person that might be 5 of swords, not necessarily 7, but 5, where they like to have their own way. They're not going to really listen to critique or constructive criticism, and you probably would just spend your time and energy better on something else. And you don't want to get someone agitated with that stinger, right? So this is a time to really pick and choose battles, focus your energy on what matters, and know at the end of the day, you have the ability to travel through this moment in time with grace and with power. And that's what we really want to embrace in the stingray here. Let's take a look now and just, again, recap some of the health messages we already talked about. It's quite positive and fortuitous that the strength card is at the center. This means that this month you're showing up strong and you have the ability, like to others, I should say, but you also have the ability to increase your own physical strength and find emotional strength that you didn't know that you had. Where is your strength being tried? Well, perhaps in communication, perhaps speaking from the heart. So emotions are the biggest challenge, because actually, what do we have across the center here? Water Dragon, Knight of Cups, 2 of Cups. All of the Cups cards were reversed. Your Strength card is upright, and this is your power. This is your key, so we can kind of read that as upright. You've got to communicate. If you're feeling something, let the other person know. If you think they're going through something, ask, don't assume. And that open communication is going to help you. It'll also help you avoid a miscommunication that could get this stinger going when you don't want it to be, okay? Take a break if you're overdue. Don't rush through anything. Rushing can also cause you to create some sort of a situation that doesn't need to be there. This can be a mess. It could also, we're looking at the broken stuff here. This can also be, energetic break. It could be a bone. We don't want to do that. So just slow down. Slow and steady wins the race here. The number one thing that I saw the minute I laid down the Celtic Cross spread was just exhaustion, fatigue, and a lack of sleep, rest, or meditation. That's the thing I'd focus on the most this month. And if there's a lot going on here or in your heart space, find a way to communicate it, okay? Otherwise, things are pretty good. Things are fairly manageable this month, and that's a good thing. It's just a lot of emotions and a lot of energy around relationships. Let's move into the energy of wealth. This is going to be your resources, your career, your life purpose. We have the Spirit Fox coming through, and it's a really great card for this. It says, trust your talents in changing times. So this is also reminding you that you can't stop things. Progress, change, and movement. These are the keys to innovation. You can't stay in the past, and you have what it takes to adjust with changing times and changing protocols. It's just about repackaging up those skills and keeping an open mind. Your wisdom, as we talked about here at the center, still came through loud and clear. You're a good leader. You have a lot to bring to the table. And the key here is to be flexible and to think through things. Try something new. The fox is wise and nimble and isn't going to be sort of stuck in the past. Absent from this spread are highly traditional cards like the Hierophant. So this is a time to be innovative. So we have instead like communication and a lot of feelings, and a lot of envisioning work here. Nothing that is sort of like stuck. And so the more you're willing and ready to embrace opportunities, the better. Okay, now let's look at this from the perspective of work or life purpose. Let's start off with, for those of you that are already sort of like in the middle of your life, in the middle of your career, and we'll see what's going on. I'll look at everybody, so don't worry, but we're going to start with those that might be working. If you have a job right now, teamwork is going to make the dream work, because we have what we talked about earlier with these two different perspectives. There's no right or wrong way, there's just different ones. If we can kind of get the two of you looking in almost the same direction and to find a way to kind of merge things together, I think that's going to be the key this month. There is a chance for you to step out and establish your leadership abilities. You may be asked to partner up with someone who has also a very strong voice and vision. So the two of you are going to have to work on communication and try not to be overly emotional. The more you can be in a calm, cool, and collected space, the quicker things can move to resolution. And I'm sure those of you that work in customer service who have seen an exchange with people that are really heated or people that are kind of like on top of their emotions, you know what I'm talking about. Kindness and empathy go a lot further than sort of agitation and kind of like this butting of two heads. So let's try to avoid that. There may be travel. I mean, the Eight of Cups is a travel card, the Two of Cups and the Chariot and this, lots of travel energy. So for work, you might be asked to travel. It could be very advantageous for you also to meet someone face to face to help resolve something, because the Two of Cups, when we look at the traditional illustration, is going to be a heart-to-heart or a face-to-face card. So I'd like to highlight that as well. Also, with respect to work, I feel like there might be too much on your plate. The Four of Swords card there is about slowing things down just a little bit in order to make sure that you are not exhausted and you're not sort of running the battery on empty. And here we go with the Two of Cups here. Like I said, part of this can also just be a conflict resolution, meeting face to face and making sure that it's harder to say no, by the way, to someone when you're looking them heart to heart, eye to eye, and you're basically saying, let's do this. I think we can make this work. Even putting those communications out there when it comes to a resolution or an idea, saying, I've heard you say this. I'm really passionate about this. I think if we try this, it's combining the best of both worlds. Be positive, be affirmative, be reassuring. This is where your power is going to come in this month, because we have the leadership, but we have to sweeten it up a little bit with positive communication. Okay. I do think you have a chance to accomplish your goals and dreams, and I think you might be able to do it where you're at by using some of the techniques we just talked about. If you're just starting off your career, let's say you're a student or you're rebooting it later in life and it's sort of like a fresh start. Well, this is a chance to finish something that never happened before or that you've always been wanting to try. This is your chance. This is your moment. Be patient with yourself. It takes a moment to get reacclimated to a new path. Even if the old one was convenient and comfortable, it isn't necessarily pushing you. So it's good to be out of your comfort zone. I think that also you have to speak your mind. This is a lot of pressure from family, from friends, from loved ones. This is you. Speak your mind. Do what you need to do. This is your path that you're driving. And at the end of your days, it's you. So you have to make sure you're happy with it. But I'm really excited about those of you that are seeking a job right now or starting something new, because you have maybe the nice problem of having to choose between two equally weighted opportunities. So good for you. For those of you that are retired, so many cards about travel. And possibly picking up something that you've never had a chance to finish. I think it's worth going back to this card for a moment for those that are retired and really pay attention to the caption on this one, manifesting your dreams. It's never too early, it's never too late. This is true though for every single life post, whether you're brand new, whether you're in the middle of your career, or whether you're retired. Are you happy? Are you happy with what you're doing now? Is there a bucket list item? When are you going to put some energy behind that? This is the time. I got that sort of imminent vibe at the beginning. It's even truer for those of you that are no longer tethered with a 9-to-5 job, and really revel in that energy that you get to do what you want in this phase of your life, okay? Let's move on to love and relationships, looking at all the different facets of love, romantic, platonic, and everything in between. What do we have here? Well, we have a card that says it's okay to feel what you need to feel. Not that you need my permission, but the cards are saying that. It's basically not overthinking the heart space. If it's there and you're connected to someone or something, awesome. If you're not, it's okay. Sometimes we feel like we have to do something just because it looks good on paper. If it doesn't feel right here, or if it's not sitting right here, listen to that. Let's look at this in 3 different perspectives. Those in love, looking for love, or single and happy. If you're in a loving relationship, some of you might actually be coming back together. That's what I'm getting here. This is like a ghost from the past. You have a chance for reconciliation. You have a chance to talk things out. You can start to see each other as equals, and it's a really good time right now. It might feel like for the first time in a while, you're just having fun. Try to enjoy that, as we were just talking about here. Try to enjoy each other's company. So I'm getting a reunion for some of you. So existing relationships, you might be coming back together after a period of distance. And the timing seems a lot better right now because you can see each other. There's still a little bit of you focusing on your own lives, but it feels like they're getting more aligned here. If you've been in a long-term relationship, there's been no separation, and you're just wondering what's going on, a lot of good stuff, actually. It feels like there could be advancement in work and life, good news, maybe new resources, new opportunities knocking on the door. It could be tugging at the two of you a little bit because you both are kind of on an upswing right now, or at least one of you is really headed in a direction where I see movement. So be patient with each other as these opportunities unfold. And remember that like energy attracts like energy. So the fact that your partner's doing well means that you are a part of that. You're supporting each other. Try to enjoy and try to sort of like champion one another as you go through the highs and maybe some of the challenges as well. Speaking of that, the only challenges I'm really picking up on right now in existing relationships, short temper, possibly stepping on someone's toes when they want to do something. And we're talking figuratively here, where it's like, that's my area, why are you doing this? And then they kind of get defensive. I think communication can help with this. Emotions are pretty heavy, so sometimes you might say something right to the point, but it hurts someone because the tone, the timing, or just the general language maybe wasn't well crafted. You get a chance to kind of talk this out. So really expect the best of one another and hold space for each other. And I feel like anything is manageable this month. We have 2 very positive cards here, 2 of Cups, 2 of Wands. If you want to work it out, you can. The only thing that can interrupt that really is this sort of bossy energy between these two. Both of you like to have your ways, and there's going to have to be a point of concession or compromise in order for things to balance out. If you're looking for love this month, yes, you can find love. We've got it right here in the near future. It's water. As I said, it's probably Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. I think it's going to be, it's great. It's what you were expecting. What's challenging you right now? You're a little tired. You're a little bit busy. You might be a little impatient. It might be a little intense. So make sure that you're creating balance in your schedule. I feel like some of you have just taken on maybe one too many things. So you're going to pull back just a little bit. And for those of you that are happily single, good for you. You still have a really good month of networking in front of you. I see no lack of people. I think the main thing here is a directional question. And so it's, are you where you want to be? And if you aren't, now is the time again to sort of create some movement because With these manifestation cards, whatever it is you're seeking, especially if you're untethered with a relationship, you have a chance now to really make it happen. It's going to be different for each of you, but I will say this, invariably, traveling or sort of exposing yourself to new people, places, and opportunities, it can only enrich and possibly even accelerate whatever it is you're trying to do. Because again, travel, and more travel. So there's a chance here, if you get out of your comfort zone or if you look around a little bit, that you're going to stumble on an opportunity that you may not have even expected would come through. And ultimately, for those that are in looking for something new, especially, or stumbling upon something unexpected, trust the first instinct. If it feels good, great. If it doesn't, no amount of work is probably going to change that. Let's move on to your destiny card. And so beautiful that we have two of your cards represented. Deep past, we have the spiritual growth of the high priestess. And then front and center, we have the strength card. So literally spiritual strength if we put the two together. This is your chance to really move mountains here, to make whatever happen, whatever you need to happen, and trust in your power and trust in your strength, and allow others to recognize it and embrace it as well. This is absolutely one of the best months that you could ever dig a little bit deeper into spirituality, meditation, mind, body, and spirit, sort of activities that are going to help you with that journey. So if you want to take that journey into spirituality, now is the time. Let's go and take a deeper look now at sun, rising, and moon sign messages. We'll give the cards a shuffle and see what's coming through. Sun, rising, and moon. Let's take a look now at the sun sign. We have the Seven of Cups here. Let's contrast it with the original illustration here. This is a chance to consider new opportunities, to ask questions, and if there's anything that you are not clear on, to basically do the homework, do the research, and figure things out. And we see that no matter how you look at it, there's going to be one choice that's calling to you or one choice that's a clear no. Trust in your intuition here. It's going to lead you in the right direction. Really focus on the thing that feels most compelling to you. What goes on with the Seven of Cups? Sometimes we overthink. Sometimes we get lost in the rabbit hole of options. And so what we really want to do is say, I feel most drawn to this or this. Let's give it a shot. Let's not worry about every possibility. And this is true even when you're intuitive, because sometimes you'll get a little kind of window of what's possible, but you may question, like, when is it going to happen? Or should I do this? Should I do this? You have to, again, go into the heart and just say, all right, this is how I'm going to deal with it. And I'm not going to beat myself up one way or another. You have to trust yourself, okay? What is this good for? Innovation, new ideas, exploring opportunities. All of those things are comprised within this. So if you were stuck in the past, you're not going to be now. If anything, it's just about capturing everything that you're receiving. So the first thing I do in the morning is write down my dreams so I don't forget. So I get a chance to talk to you about what came through for each sign. You should do the same thing when you're getting, it's like a brainstorming session at work. You have to put stuff on a whiteboard, but you can put it in your phone. You can scribble it on a piece of paper when it is just in your dreams and your ideas, because a lot of times it hits you when you don't expect it. You're taking a shower, you're walking the dog, you're sleeping. Take these downloads that come to you and make sure that you're recording them, because there's some gold there. And it's coming from this high priestess energy in the deep past. Okay, let's move on to rising. You received the Two of Swords, but it's in the reverse state, and we have an eclipse here. What does an eclipse do? It reveals. The traditional Two of Swords in the upright position is one where you can't see. When you have the card in reverse, it's the equivalent of taking those blindfolds off. When the moon eclipses the sun, we can see the corona. We have, by the time you watch this, we will have had an eclipse where there's the ring of fire. So sometimes you see the outer ridge of the sun, sometimes you just see its corona. But either way, you see something that you normally couldn't or wouldn't see. So an eclipse doesn't just hide, it also reveals. And this is a chance to look at things from a new perspective, and also to find light where there's also shadow. So it's finding the silver lining. Literally, that's what we see on this. So there may be something in your life that constituted something that felt like it was a block or a dead end, but what it really did was it showed you the path where there was the light, where there was an opportunity. This is a chance to reframe the narrative, to see the silver lining, and to also See the strength within, see the opportunity, trust in your instincts and your intuition. This is a month of awakening because that's what this represents. The blindfolds are off, the reveal is here, and now it's just a question. You've seen something for its true self, for the true opportunity. What are you going to do now? What's the first step you're going to take? You're no longer in the dark, okay? And that's an exciting place to be. But even with the Two of Swords, there still has to be that moment where you just take one of the swords and say, I'm going to go for it. Because there's oftentimes a shade of gray and there's still a little bit of risk associated with taking the first step, but it's better to take a step than to stagnate and stand still. This card is also a call to action, and it's saying, look at the silver lining, follow the light, go down that path and see what's coming next. Now let's take a look at your moon sign message, and we have a really beautiful card coming through. Probably one of my favorite illustrations for the Three of Cups. This is something good coming into your life. It can represent a celebration, new love, networking, a party of some sort. Really, the Three of Cups, generally speaking, is very, very positive. In work, it can also be like good word of mouth. The card was not reversed, so we're not getting all of the negative connotations that you would get when it's reversed, like gossip. Instead, it's just new connections. The only challenge for some of you that might be in a relationship is commitment. We have the Two of Cups that came through here, but it was reversed. So one of you may be on a different path where you're like, I just want to enjoy courtship or dating, or there could be someone that's trying to kind of put themselves in between you and someone else, and you really just need to have proper boundaries and communication if that's coming through. But ultimately, Three of Cups, when I'm just looking at the signs here, the sun, rising, and moon, it's a good card. So celebrate the little successes, get out there, mix and mingle. If you're looking for love, this is a doubly positive card. It's saying you can definitely connect. There may be more than one option out there, and that's going to require discernment and focus. All right, folks, let's go ahead now and look at the final question. Many of you may still have something that I haven't answered just yet, so I'd like you to focus on that question, and I'm going to shuffle the cards and we'll see what comes through. Well, it's a great card. The Four of Wands is one of partnership, fidelity, happiness. I'll pull the traditional one up here in just a moment, but let's focus on the beauty in this one. It almost reminds me of like the iris of an eye. And it's saying, if you can see it, then you can achieve it. If you can see it, then others can see it too. It's a little bit of a play on the old, if you build it, they will come. Here's your traditional Four of Wands. And what you can see here is that in the foreground, there's basically a stage that has been set. We see people in the background that are getting ready to step into that. This can represent marriage, partnership, fidelity, people that you can trust, and really sort of nice, secure foundations. And sometimes you have to create that stage for all of that to come forth before it exists. So if we look at these two cards, this is about the vision work that many of you have done to basically create that. And this is the manifestation of that. Also, it's not accidental that we have the Two of Wands, the Three of Wands, and the Four of Wands all coming through in today's reading. So we're starting to see things move along. This is a yes. This is a resounding yes for those of you out there saying, but Nicholas, is this a yes or no? There's nothing negative for me to say about the Four of Wands. It's basically really, really auspicious. And it's saying now's the time to really put your focus on people that come through. This is like your BFF, the people that have your back, that you can trust. This is really what you want to focus on putting energy into and seeking more of, okay? And you also have this quality to pull in people like this in this moment in time. So very exciting energy. I think the only challenge this month, the only opportunity is to get emotions sort of reined in to deal with anything or process anything that you've been holding on to. And once you do that, the sky seems to be the limit here, okay? Thank you so much, everybody, for showing up today. If you enjoyed this video and you're brand new, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and also opt into notifications. For returning viewers, a simple thumbs up does a lot. So thank you in advance. It lets me know that you enjoy this. It also helps other people find this video. You can follow me on social media. It's always my full name, no changes in spelling, no extra characters, and I'm on all major platforms. You can always go to my website if you need more information or the main channel page here for details. You can give back in official formats through Super Stickers, Super Chat, and also through memberships. And a quick reminder, there are some imposters out there. I'm never going to use direct messages in social media to ask for anything. So if someone messages you and asks for money or tries to strike up a conversation, you know it's not me. Block, report, leave a comment too so I can find them and put my own report in as well. Thank you so much, everybody, for showing up today. I drop new videos every Monday, Thursday, and Friday. I have a live stream every Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific, and I also put out daily card readings as well. I appreciate your time. I know you have a lot of places that you can spend some time on YouTube, so thank you for the last 45 minutes or so here. Take care of yourselves. Wishing you much love and light, and I can't wait to see you again on the channel. Take care.